Hey, hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So, today we have a really rich session packed with problems on linearly dependence and independence, right? The previous video also we were doing questions on it, but today we will finish all the questions which we possibly have on this topic, okay? Like the kind of questions that show up in university exams year after year. Now, we are going to do seven problems and one bonus trick. At the end of this video, you will be comfortable doing the proving the set of vectors is linearly dependent or independent, then finding unknown constants that make a set dependent, or setting up and problem solving conditions on parameters of a and b. And lastly, we will do this shortcut called the cyclic determinant trick at the end. Okay, so yes, grab your notebook and let's go. But before that, I want to present this interactive slide which I made for your reference of notes, because I know that watching my handwriting only rigorously, that sounds boring, but this fun slides will be very much important for you for reference. Okay, see, for today's session, first we're gonna do what we're gonna recap of what is linearly dependent and what is linearly independent, the two definitions of which are very core idea of today's class, right? And next we're gonna study what is the determinant test, that is determinant of a will be equals to 0, then we can say that this is dependent, and if it is not equals to 0, then we're gonna say that it is independent. All right, now see, here I have also written how do you use this interactive slide. See, you have to click at any step to expand its working, and then use the arrow keys or the buttons below to navigate. All right, now see, first we're gonna do these 12 6 to 12 these questions, right? First question is on the proving the dependence of r4, then next is find k, and that is it is given the condition that it is dependent, and next is find k, then we're gonna study what is that cyclic set, and then prove independence, then again prove independence, and then we need to find the conditions which are on the parameters of a and b, and same with question number 12, and then lastly we're going to do the cyclic determinant trick. All right, now coming to the next part, see, this is the first question which we're going to do, and here as you can see I have also given the working step by step. You can see from here also, and I will also do it here in my journal too. This is the result given for this kind of question. And next is this question. As I have already said, these are the questions which we have. And then coming to this bonus trick which we have for today, that is the cyclic determinant trick. And here you can study these, and then you can understand that what am I trying to say after our class gets over. Okay, so yes, now next I will present my screen of my journal, then it will be easier for me to explain the questions. All right, so just a minute that I change the presentation. So, yes, we're going to start with the questions, and I'm going to solve the questions manually. And you can also refer the notes there. And yes, I will upload this also in my Blogger account, so you can check that too. Now, see, before like we jump into the problems, I will do a 60-second recap. Okay. Now, see, what is a set of vectors that is, let us say, suppose alpha 1, alpha 2, and goes on till alpha n in Rm is called linearly dependent if there exists scalar c1, c2, c3 goes on till cn, not all 0. Okay, such that we're gonna say c1 alpha 1 plus c2 alpha 2, and it goes on till cn alpha n is equals to theta. Okay, what is this theta here? Theta is the zero vector, right? This is for linearly dependent, not all 0. This is the most important term for linearly dependent, right? And for linearly independent, if the only solution to the same equation is c1 is equals to c2 is equals to goes on till is equals to cn is equals to 0, right, then only that is linearly independent. That is, there is only one solution, that every constant must be 0, right? So here you're gonna write only solution for this kind of equation. Okay, so that is it. Every problem we do today down all boils down to this setup of this equation, right? You need to first do the solve the equations, and then you need to solve the system of the equations, and then check whether the solution is non-trivial or not. Okay, and one more thing, for a set of n vectors in Rn, we can check linear dependence by computing the determinant of the matrix formed by these vectors, right? If determinant is equals to 0, then we can say that they are dependent. right? They are dependent. And if determinant is not equals to 0, then we can say that the system of equation is independent. The set of vectors are independent, right? So that is all for the recap. Now coming to the first problem which we have, that is, we'll start from question number 6, right? Because we did 5 questions in our previous video. So if you have not watched that video, please watch it, because that will give you a better clarity for this kind of problems. Okay, so coming to the first question for today's class, which is a sixth number of questions, sixth numbered question. Prove 1110, 1011, 1212, and then 1111. Prove that this is linearly independent in R4. All right, is linearly independent in R4. Now, how are you going to solve this question? See, for 4 vectors in R4, we first need to find that C1, C2, C3, and C4 not all 0, such that we will write that C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus C3 alpha 3 plus C4 alpha 4 is equals to theta. Theta is what? The 0 vector. Then we need to expand component wise. Then we get the system of the linear equations, right? So then we're gonna solve that system of linear equation, right? So let me do it. Just a moment. Yes. Let me solve the question. See, first need to write what? Let C1, C2, the board is visible, right? Yes. C2, C3, and C4 all belongs to F. F is what? The field, right? F. And here alpha 1 is given what? 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 0. Alpha 2 is equals to 1 comma 0 comma 1 comma 1. Alpha 3 given here is 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 2, and alpha 4 is 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. Sorry, 1. Now see, why am I writing this alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and alpha 4 again? Because you have to first define before telling that what is C1 alpha 1, what is C2 alpha 2, right? So to define that thing, we are previously only defining what are we taking the vectors as. Like these are the vectors and we are telling that. Okay. So yes, now I am solving this equation. Just a moment. Yes. So let me solve it. See, now next line what you need to write is for this set of, like, we need, you need to write the definition of what is this linear dependent. Okay, for this set of vectors, for this set of vectors to be linearly dependent in R4, then it must satisfy, then it must satisfy, what was the condition that I told you? That is C1 alpha 1, that condition. So write that C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus C3 alpha 3 plus C4 alpha 4 is equals to theta, where theta is the 0 vector in R4. Now just substitute the values of alpha 1, alpha 2, and alpha 3 and alpha 4. So do that. Then what do you get? Therefore, C1, what is alpha 1? 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 0 plus C2 1 comma 0 comma 1 comma 1 plus C3 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 2 plus C4 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1 will be equals to 0 0 0 and 0, right? This is the 0 vector of R4. Now see, you need to further break it down for the equation, right? So let's further break it down, that this will be first to multiply that this scalar with this vector, which is c1 into c1 comma c1 comma c1 comma 0 plus c2 comma 0 comma c2 comma c2 plus c3 comma 2c3 comma c3 comma 2c2 2c3, and then comes c4 comma c4 comma c4 comma c4, right? All will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0. Now if I just write directly the equations, this expanding this component wise, then what do we get? We get it to be C1 plus this is first add these terms, right? First add the first terms of the complements. C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4. This is the first equation. C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4 is equals to 0, our first equation. Next is C1 plus 0 plus 2C3 plus C4, right? So write that down. C1 plus 2C3 plus C4 is equals to 0. This is our second equation. Next is what? C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4, right? So therefore, C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4 is equals to 0. This is our third equation. And the last equation is 0 plus C2 plus 2C3 plus C4, right? So let me write that down. C2 plus 2C3 plus C4 is equals to 0. And this is our fourth equation. Now, if you can notice that equation number 1 and equation number 3 are identical, right? So that is already a hint that the system is underdetermined. Okay, so now we will just solve the system of equation. Now this is getting easier, right? Because now we have only three equations to deal with, and we already know that how to deal with three equations. So let me just do it. What should be the first step? First step should be subtracting this equation number 2 from 1. Okay, so let me do that. Subtracting equation number 2 from equation 1. Okay, so if I do that, then what do I get? From 1, right? So C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4 is equals to 0, and C1 plus 2C3 plus C4 is equals to 0. Now we have to subtract it. So what do we get? C1 and C1 gets cancelled, and we get minus C2 from here, and then minus C3, right? And then C4 and C4 also getting cancelled, so it will be 0, right? So here this will not be minus C2, this will be C2 only. Okay, so because C2 minus 0 is C2 only, right? So C2 minus C3 is equals to 0. So from here we get the relation C2 is equals to C3. Okay, this is one of the equation we got, one of the relation of C2 and C3, which is C2 is equals to C3, right? Now coming to the next part. Now next, what can we do? We can subtract equation number 4 from equation number 3, right? Then also we will get an equation, relation between C3 and C4 we will get, right? C3 and C4. Okay, let me see that how do we get it. See, not C4, C4 will get cancelled, so we will get C1 and C3. These two, upon C1 and C3 we will get a relation. So let us see how do we get it. Let us write first subtracting equation 4 from equation 3, right? So what is equation number 4? C2 plus 2C3 plus C4. C2 plus, no, from 3, right? So we need to first write the third equation. This is C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4 is equals to 0. And then we'll try the equation number 4, right? So equation number 4 is C2 plus 2C3 plus C4 is equals to 0, right? And we need to subtract this. Now what do we get after subtracting? C1 remains same, C1 minus C3 is equals to 0, because C4 and C4 also getting cancelled, and C2 and C2 are getting cancelled, right? So we are getting C1 minus C3 is equals to 0. So from here we can say that the relation is C1 is equals to C3. So from the first value we got C2 is equals to C3, and next we got C1 is equals to C3. So combining these two equations, we can get that C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3, right? So next, what do we do? See, we have done that. Now we can follow along this relation and say that this will be, therefore C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3. We will write this after combining these two equations, which we these two results, right? So next what do we need to do? Next we need to put this value in equation number, let me see, in let us say, let us put that value in equation number 1, and then we will get what is the relation with C4, right? So let us do that. Putting C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3 in equation 1. Equation 1 is very simple, that is C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4 is equals to 0. Now we will put C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3, that is same, right? So let us say that we are taking C1 plus, let me write it nicely, C1 plus C1 plus C1 plus C4 is equals to 0. Then we can say 3C1 plus C4 is equals to 0. Then we can compute it to be C4 is equals to minus 3C1. Okay, so here as you can see, we have got a relation between C1, C2, C3 and C4, right? And from here this is getting easier because C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3, and here C4 is equals to minus 3C1. Now if we let that C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3 to be K, then we can say that C4 is equals to minus 3K, right? Now when we put that equation and we will solve for it, we will check whether this is holding true. Then we can say this is that was the way, that is the verification, right? Then we can say that this is not, this is a linearly dependent vectors, these are linearly dependent vectors. Now let us see, how do we write it? Let C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3 is equals to K. Let us take to be the constant to be K, which belongs from the real number, basically any value, right? Any value. Then we can say C4 is equals to minus 3K, because as you can see C1 we are taking it to be K, right? So then we can say it to be C4 to be minus 3K, right? Then we will see, we will check it, we will verify if it is coming to be true or not. Okay, now see, check K, what were the values of alpha 1? Yes, triple 1 0, then 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 2, then four ones. Okay, so let me write it. First is 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 0 plus K 1 comma 0 comma 1 comma 1 plus K 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 2, and then minus 3K, because last is C4, right? So minus 3K 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. Okay, everything should be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0. If it is, then we can say that this is linearly dependent vectors, these are linearly dependent vectors. So let us check if it is coming to be true. K comma K comma K comma 0 plus K comma 0 comma K plus K comma 2K comma K comma 2K, right? And then you can take this plus and minus 3K comma minus 3K comma minus 3K comma minus 3K. Okay, now you have to just add it term by term. Then what do we get? K plus K minus 3K first term, then K plus 0 plus 2K minus 3K, this is the second term, then K minus 3K, K plus K minus 3K, and the last term is 0 plus K plus 2K minus 3K, right? 0 plus K plus 2K minus 3K. Now as you can see, everything is turning to be 0, right? So we will say 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0, this is the zero vector of R4, and since not all constants are 0, the set is linearly dependent, hence we proved it, right? So let us say hence proved, this is linearly dependent. All right, now coming to the next question of today's class, question number 7. Now, question number 7 is again on linearly dependent problem. And now this is a little bit different because we have to find K for linear dependence in R3. Okay, so we do not know the value of K. We will find what is the K here. Okay, so let me write the problem. Find K belongs to R such that the set S is linearly dependent Okay, now set S is given as 1 2 1 k 3 1. The third vector is 2 comma k comma 0. Okay, so this is given to us, and for linearly dependence we need a non-trivial solution to this. So we will write what c1 alpha 1 plus c2 alpha 2 plus c3 alpha 3 will be equals to the 0 vector. So let me write it. This is the solution part. Okay, so let c1 c2 comma c3 belongs to f, which is these are the constants taken from the field, right? So then, and we will define what are we taking to be alpha 1 alpha 2 and alpha 3. So alpha 1 is 1 comma 2 comma 1, alpha 2 is k comma 3 comma 1, and alpha 3 is equals to 2 comma k comma 0, right? And then we will find this solution of that c1 alpha 1, that thing. So let me write it. What is the thing we need to, like, you can write it, you have to basically write it, that what is the given condition and what is the definition of it. So given that the set of vectors is linearly dependent, then it must satisfy C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus C3 alpha 3 is equals to theta, where theta is a zero vector in R3. Okay, so now we will write substituting the values of the alphas, the vectors, right? So we will write it C1, what is alpha 1? 1 comma 2 comma 1 plus C2 k comma 3 comma 1 plus C3 2 comma k comma 0 will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0. Okay, so now we will do the multiplication, scalar multiplication. So c1 comma 2c1 comma c1 plus kc2 3c2 comma c2 plus 2c3 comma kc3 comma 0 will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0, right? And then we will get the three equations from here. So what are the three equations? I'm writing it directly. C1, the first term is C1 plus kc2 plus 2c3 will be equals to 0, and next is 2c1 plus 3c2 plus kc3 is equals to 0, and next is the last equation will be c1 plus c2 plus 0 plus c2 plus 0 will be equals to 0. So this is the first equation, then comes the second equation, then comes the third equation. All right, so we have got three equations from here, and then we will solve the system of linear equations, right? So from equation number 3 we can directly see that the c1 will be equals to minus c2, right? So let me write it. From equation 3 we get c1 is equals to minus c2. Next we're gonna do is that putting this equation, like putting this result c1 is equals to minus c2 in equation number 2. Let us put this equation, this result in equation number 2. Then what do we get? Let me write it. Putting the value c1 is equals to minus c2 in equation number 2. So if you put that, then what do we get? Let us say we are taking c1 to be minus c2 in this equation. So we get 2c1 plus 3c2 plus kc3 we have. Then if we substitute the value of c1 with minus c2, then what do we get? 2 into minus c2 plus 3c2 plus kc3 is equals to 0. And then we will further simplify to minus 2c2 plus 3c2 plus kc3 is equals to 0, and 3c2 minus 2c2 will be c2 plus kc3 is equals to 0. So basically from here we get the value of kc3, right? So we can say kc3 is equals to minus c2. Okay, so from here we can get a relation that c1 is equals to minus c2, and again minus c2 is equals to kc3. So we can say that from here from these two results we can get c1 is equals to minus c2 is equals to KC3, right? This is the equation we get from combining the results. Now what do we do? Next we're gonna putting the value C1 is equals to KC3. This is K, yes, KC3, and C2 is equals to minus KC3 in equation number, let us see, we can put this value in equation number 1, right? In equation number 1, then what do we get? Then we will get the relation between KC2 and KC3, right? So let us see that. Okay, so what is this equation number 1? Let me write that first. C1 plus KC2 plus 2C3. C1 plus KC2 plus 2C3 will be equals to 0. Now next we're gonna write what is C1. C1 is KC3, right? So just a moment. Yes, C1 is KC3, and what is C2? C2 is minus KC3, minus KC3 plus 2C3 will be equals to 0, right? So here, from here we can get, we will get the relation, we will directly get the answer of K. We will get the values of K here. So let us see how we're gonna get it. Next step will be KC3, like further breaking it down. KC3, sorry, minus K square C3 plus 2C3 will be equals to 0. Next we're gonna do what? We're gonna take this C3 common, okay? Then we will get C3 common, then K minus K square plus 2 is equals to 0, right? Now here C3 is multiplied with K minus K square plus 2, right? Then we can say that C3, this one of these two terms should be 0 to get the result to be 0. So if I say that C3 is equals to 0, then we can write it K minus K square plus 2 is equals to 0. And now we will, this is just a factorization method, you know that very well. So let me write it, just rearranging the terms as in the power of the values, right? So minus K square plus K plus 2 is equals to 0. Now we will just factorize it. Minus 2 we need, so we will do what? Minus K square plus 2K minus K plus 2. Then from here we can see that I did the factorization well, and then we need to factor out the terms, right? So you will take what? Minus, this will be minus K square, or you can rearrange the term a bit. Minus K square minus K plus 2K plus 2 is equals to 0. And next you can factor it out. Minus K from these two terms, minus K, then K plus 1 plus 2 is, we are taking the 2 outside, then K plus 1 is in the bracket. Okay, so from here we can see that K plus 1 is in one group and minus K plus 2 is in another group. So let me write it down. K plus 1 and minus K plus 2 is equals to 0. So from here we get two solutions of K, right? K is either equals to 0 or K is equals to minus 1. K is either 2 there or minus 1, right? So let me write it. Therefore K is equals to minus 1 or K is equals to 2. This is the solution of K. We need to find the K only, right? So after getting this, we get these K to be K is equals to 2 or K is equals to minus 1. So these are the two values for which the set is linearly dependent. Okay, so now we will come to the next question, question number 8 of today's class. So yes, coming to the question number 8. Even if you have any problem or any doubt upon finding these kind of values, you can directly DM to me so that we can try it out together if you have any kind of problem. Okay. So yes, question number now 8. Now question number 8 is, we are given same way, like we will be given as for set S to be linearly dependent, we will be given that, and we need to find the K. Okay, so what is the set? I'm directly writing the set. Okay, set S is equals to K comma K comma 1 Next term, next vector is k comma 1 comma k, and the third vector is 1 comma k comma k. Okay, so this is, we know that this is a linearly dependent and we need to find k is linearly dependent, and we need to find, we find k. Okay, so next what we need to do, we have to take the three scalars, right, for this set to be linearly dependent. Now that scalars will be taken from the field f, and the system and the condition will be c1 plus c1 alpha 1 plus c2 alpha 2 plus c3 alpha 3 will be equals to 0, right? So I'm not writing it again, I'm just writing it directly, that the, what is the condition, c1 alpha 1 plus c2 alpha 2 plus c3 alpha 3 is equals to the theta, which is the 0 vector, right? And alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha 3 are these vectors. Definitely you need to define these vectors, that which vectors you're working on. So okay, I'm not defining it once more, you have to do it in your home. Okay, so yes, I'm just writing it directly. What is alpha 1? That is k comma 1 plus c2 k comma 1 comma k plus c3 1 comma k will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0, right? For this to be linearly dependent, and we already know that it is linearly dependent, right? So next we need to do the scalar multiplication and then the vector addition. So what is it? Kc1 comma kc1 comma c1, then kc2 comma c2 comma kc2 plus c3 comma kc3 comma kc3 will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0, right? And here you need to, for then do the vector addition. How do you do that vector addition? First you need to add these terms component wise. So adding this term component wise, we get kc1. So let me write the equations directly. Okay, what will be the equations? Equations will be kc1 plus kc2 plus c3 is equals to 0. This is the first equation, right? And the next equation will be kc1 plus c2 plus kc3 will be equals to 0. This is our equation number 2. And the next equation is c1 plus kc2 plus kc3 is equals to 0. So this is our third equation. Now next, what is the step? Here we have only three system of linear equations, right? So now we need to solve it. How do we, what is our first approach? We can see that this kc1 and kc1 will get cancelled, so we can take subtracting 2 from 1, right? So let us say first thing will be subtracting equation 2 from 1. So what is our first equation? It is kc1 plus kc2 plus c3 is equals to 0. And the second equation is kc1 plus c2 plus kc3 is equals to 0, right? So if we now do the subtraction, then what do we get? Do the subtraction. Kc1 and Kc1 gets cancelled, right? And here comes, if we take C2 to be common, K minus 1, plus again if we take C3 to be common, we will get 1 minus K, right? So then it is equals to 0. This is subtracting equation 2 from 1. Okay. Now see, we will get what? Or we could have done from equation 3 also, because that would be same, like then kc3 and kc3 would have got cancelled, right? So now here you can see, if you just do further calculation, then you can see that k minus 1 can be taken as a common factor, right? So for that you need to change the sign. So if you change the sign, it will be k minus c2 into k minus 1 minus c3, k minus 1 is equals to 0, right? So if you do that, then you can do, you can get what? You can get k minus 1 to be common as a factor, and c2 minus c3 will be equals to 0. So here you can say that either k is equals to 1 or c2 is equals to c3. So just write that either k is equals to 1 or C2 is equals to C3. So now next case will be assuming that C2 is equals to C3, which is our general case, right? So assuming C2 is equals to C3 as our base case or general case. Okay, now if we take this to be a general case, then we can do what? We can now again subtract this equation number 3 from equation number 2, assuming that C2 is equals to C3. So let me do it. What is our equation number? No, let me first write it. Subtracting. What are we doing? We will write it. Okay, subtracting equation number 3 from equation number 2. Okay, so from equation number 2, what is our equation number 2? This equation, we will subtract this third equation. Okay, so kc1 plus c2 plus kc3, kc1 plus c2 plus k no so kc1 plus c2 plus kc3, yes, plus kc3, and then is equals to 0. And what is equation? Or we can do one thing, we can just subtract equation number 3 from equation number 1. Okay, then we can we can do this problem in several ways. In this way also we can find it, and we can see that kc3 and kc3 gets cancelled. And if we do equation number 3 from equation number 1, then we can see that kc2 and kc2 will get cancelled. Now as I am doing this further, solving this further, then we can see that if we do equation subtract equation 3 from equation 1, then we will be in benefit. Okay, so let me do it from equation number 1. So what is our equation number 1? Okay, so let us say that equation number 1 is kc1 plus kc2 plus c3. Kc1 plus kc2 plus c3 is equals to 0, and then c1 plus kc2, which is yes, kc2 plus kc3, kc2 plus kc3 will be equals to 0, right? Now see, from here we will get what? We will get that c1 will be equals to c3, or kc or k is equals to 1 again. So our one of the equation will be k is equals to 1. Okay, so let me write it here. If we subtract it, what do we get? C1 we will take it to be common, so it will be k minus 1, and kc2 and kc2 will get cancelled. Then plus we will take c3 as common, then 1 minus k is equals to 0, right? And from here we can get c1, again c1 k minus 1, and we will change the sign so that we will get here to factor out that k minus 1 portion. So c3 minus c3 into k minus 1 is equals to 0, and then we will factor out this k minus 1. Then we get c1 minus c3 is equals to 0. So from here also we will get that k is equals to 1, or c1 is equals to c3. So we will get k is equals to 1, or c1 is equals to c3. So from here we can get that c1 is equals to c3 and c2 is equals to c3. So from these we can get that say c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3, right? So we will write it. Therefore, C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3. This is a very important relation which we have got. Okay. Now we will say that since we know that C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3, or K is equals to 1, we will put this result. We will put this result in equation number 1. Yes. If we put this C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3 in equation number 1, then we will see what do we get. We will get another value of K. Okay. So let us write it. What is our equation number 1? First we need to write putting the value C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3 in equation number 1. Okay. Now what is equation number 1? Equation number 1 is KC1 plus KC2 plus C3, right? Plus KC2 plus C3 is equals to 0. Now here we can write this C2 and C3 in terms of C1, right? Because they are equal. So we will write KC1 plus KC1 plus C1 is equals to 0. And from here we can get 2KC1 plus C1 is equals to 0. Now from here we can take this, factor out this C1 as common. Then we get 2K plus 1 is equals to 0. Then from here we can say either c1 is equals to 0 or 2k plus 1 is equals to 0. And if we say that 2k plus 1 is equals to 0, then we can say that k is equals to minus 1 by 2, right? So we will write 2k plus 1 is equals to 0. Then we can say that k is equals to minus 1 by 2. So from here we get another value of k, which is 1 minus 1 by 2. So what are the two values of k which we get for non-trivial solution? We will get the answers k is equals to 1 or k is equals to half, minus half. So answer will be k is equals to 1 or minus 1 by 2. Okay, so these are the answers. And actually you can also get this directly by setting this determinant of the matrix equal to 0. Then we will come back to this in the next questions, upcoming questions. Okay, so yes, that is more easier than solving all this system of linear equations, right? So yes, coming to the question number 9 now. Now in question number 9 we will just prove there are three vectors, and we will prove that this is linearly independent, because we have solved way too many problems on linearly dependent questions, right? So next question will be on linearly independent. So what is the question? Question is to prove 1 2 comma 3, then 2 comma 3 comma 1, then 3 comma 1 comma 2 is linearly independent in R3. Now, when I will tell you about that cyclic determinant trick, then you can understand that this problem can be solved in just two steps. Okay, but since you do not know that yet, and many uh, colleges or universities really do not teach that in the first class, so you have to first solve this and know how to solve this using the system of linear equations. And even in home you can try this problem out using the cyclic determinant trick, which I will tell you on the later half of this video, right? So yes, for this set to be linearly independent in R3, what we need to show is that the only solution for this is c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3, which will be equals to 0. Then we need to do what? We need to set up this equation, and then we need to expand it. Then we will get three system of linear equations. Then we will solve these equations, and when we solve it, we will get that c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3 is equals to 0. Okay, and if we get that, then we can say that this set will be linearly independent. Now here we will solve it in a very in a nice step, okay, in a unique step, as you can understand from as you will understand as I will explain. Okay, see, first you need to write what? For this set of vectors, for this set of vectors to be linearly independent, it must satisfy, it must satisfy the c1 alpha 1 plus c2 alpha 2 plus c3 alpha 3 will be equals to theta, where c1, the only solution will be c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3, which be equals to theta or 0, whatever you will write. Okay, because theta here is a 0 vector. Now see, this is the condition which you have for linearly independent. Now you will substitute the value of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 from here. Now you will define first what is alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3, then you will write, you will substitute the values. Okay, I'm not writing it again, so I'm directly writing what does this imply, this equation. C1, what is alpha 1? It is 1 comma 2 comma 3 plus C2 is 2 comma 3 comma 1. Alpha 2 is this, and then C3 is alpha 3 will be 3 1 2. Okay, and this all will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0. And next you need to do the scalar multiplication. Please do that. C1 comma 2c1 comma 3c1 plus 2c2 comma 3c2 comma c2 plus 3c3 comma c3 comma 2c3 will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0. And next you have to expand it using that vector addition term wise, right? So if you expand it, what do you get? I'm writing it directly, the linear equations. C1 plus 2c2 plus 3c3, C1 plus 2c2 plus 3c3 will be equals to 0. Then 2c1 plus 3c2 plus c3 plus c3. So it is 2c1 plus 3c2 plus c3 will be equals to 0. And the third equation is 3c1 plus c2 plus 2c3. 3c1 plus C2 plus 2C3 will be equals to 0. So this is the first equation, then the second equation, and the third equation. Now if you look at these equations very carefully, if you add up all the three equations, then all the three coefficients will be 6, as you can see. See, C1 plus 2C1 plus 3C1 is 6C1. Now 2C2 plus 3C2 plus C2 is again 6C2, and C3 plus C3 is 4C3 plus 2C3 is 6C3, right? So if you add all these three equations, you can directly get a relation of C1 plus C2 plus C3, right? Which will be equals to 0. How? Let me show you. How will you write it? Adding all the equations 1, 2, and 3, we get, now what do we get here? 6c1 plus 6c2 plus 6c3 will be equals to 0. And if we factor out the 6, then we get what? 6 is taking as common. C1 plus C2 plus C3 will be equals to 0. And from here we can get C1 plus C2 plus C3 will be equals to 0. Now this is a very crucial important part in our solution. So let us name it this to be equation number A, or just say that this is a result. Okay, now if we put this value, put equation A in equation 1, see everything here can be written in terms of C1 plus C2 plus C3, right? And then we will get two values, which is like C1, and here what do we get? We will see that for all the three equations we will get few values and we will compute that. Okay, let us see what we get if we put this A equation in first equation. Okay, so first equation is C1 plus 2C2 plus 3C3. So let me write that. C1 plus 2C2 plus 3C3, which will be equals to 0, right? And here you will write what is, you can write this as C1 plus C2 plus C3. And what is left again from 2C2? We have again C2, and for from C3 we have taken one C3, so we will be remaining with 2C3, which will be equals to 0. Now we already know what is C1 plus C2 plus C3, right? So if I put the value here, we will get what? C2 plus 2C3 is equals to 0, right? And from here we will get a relation from of C2 and C3, which is C2 is equals to minus 2C3, right? So we can get C2 is equals to minus 2C3. All right. So next from here we can say that, oh, I'm sorry, this is not the highlighter. Yes. So C2 is equals to minus 2C3, right? So just a moment. Okay, so what I was saying was that now we get a relation that C2 is equals to minus 2C3. Okay, now we will apply this relation in the next value. See, I will write, let's take a different pen. Putting this value, putting this value in equation number. Now see, if I put this value in equation number 2, then we will benefit from it. Okay, so let us see how do we get that in equation number 2. So what is our equation number 2? It is 2C1 plus 3C2 plus C3, right? So it is 2C1 plus, okay, I forgot, 2C1 plus 3C2 plus C3 plus 3C2 plus C3 will be equals to 0, right? And this we can break it down to be C1 plus C2 plus C3, right? So let me break it down. C1 plus C2 plus C3, and here we are left with one C1 and two C2s, right? So let me write it. C1 plus 2C2 will be equals to 0. And we already know that c1 plus c2 plus c3 is equals to 0, right? So we can directly write that c1 plus 2c2 is equals to 0. And from here we will get another equation that c1 is equals to minus 2c2, right? C1 is equals to minus 2c2. C1 is equals to minus 2c2. And we already know what is c2. C2 can be written as minus 2c3. So we will get another equation, minus 2 into minus 2c3, which is equals to 4c3. So from here we can get the three values, right? We can get that c1 is equals to 4c3, and then c2 is equals to again minus 2c3. So from here, if we substitute the values, like if I write it that c1 will be equals to, now here we got the relation between c1 and c2. We know the relation between c2 and c3, and we also know the relation between c1 and c3, right? So if we then now substitute these values, and we will see that this is nothing but c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3, which is equals to 0, right? Now if I just show you that, now see, you can just substitute the values and get the answer directly. So I'm not showing it that now. Now the basically for this kind of question, the key technique was to add all these equations to extract a useful relation, because this relation c1 plus c2 plus c3 has helped us a lot in finding these values, right? So next we will do what is that, the next question. Okay, so if I go to solve the next question, the next question is again about finding the k. Okay, now it's like this standard basis vectors, because we will use the 0 1 1, then 1 0 1, then 1 1 0. We will take these kind of vectors. Now I will not show it to be like we will take the value to be 1. Okay, we will just show what is the value of k here. So now coming to this question, just a moment. Okay, so yeah, I was having some trouble with my pen. So yes, what I was doing was this question. Now, yes, I said that we can just substitute the values. Now, if I give you a little bit of hint, like how do you want to substitute the values? See, we already know. I'm just giving the hint. I'm not directly doing this, okay? Because this part is easy. C1, we already know this is 4C3, and C2, we know the relation minus 2C3. Now, if you put this in equation number 1, then you can see that, okay, let me do it. Let me do the solution only. So, what is equation number 1? Equation number 1 is that C1 plus 2C2 plus 3C3. C1 plus 2C2 plus 3C3 will be equals to 0. And if you can write that C1 is equals to 4C3, then 2 into minus 2C3 plus 3C3, then you will get the answer of C3, right? And if you know the answer of what is the value of C3, then you can directly know the value of C1 and C2 also. So what is it? 4C3 minus 4C3 plus 3C3 is equals to 0. So from here we get that 3C3 is equals to 0. So from here we get that C3 will be equals to 0. Now if C3 is equals to 0, if you put the value of C3 to be 0 here, then you get 4 into 0, which is 0. Then again C1 will be equals to 0. And here if you put the value of C3 to be 0, then you get minus 2 into 0 is again 0. So C2 will be equals to 0, right? So this is basically all for this question number 8. This is question number 8, right? Let me see. Oh, I have not written the question number. So anyway, whatever it is. Now coming to the next part of the question. Next solution of the question. Next question basically. Okay, so here this was what I was saying was about that standard basis vectors, and we can do about finding this k, and we can do about again this question can be done with its standard basis vectors only, that 1 0 0 and 0 1 1, like that. Okay, so yes, let me see this question. Okay, here the question is, let me write it. Question number, I don't know, maybe I think this is question number 10. The previous one was question number 9. So yes, proof that 0 comma 1 comma 1, 1 comma 0 comma 1, and then 1 comma 1 comma 0 is linearly independent in R3, is linearly independent in R3. Okay, now how do we do it? First, again, we need to show that what is the condition for independent vectors. Then we will set up the equation, that is c1 alpha 1 plus c2 alpha 2 plus c3 alpha 3 is equals to the 0 vector. And we will show that c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3, which is the only solution we get. And hence we can say that the set is linearly independent. All right, so let us solve this. The solution, first you need to write that select C1, C2 and C3 which belongs to F, and you will define the vectors alpha 1 0 comma 1 comma 1, alpha 2 1 comma 0 comma 1, and alpha 3 1 comma 1 comma 0, right? And then you need to write for this set of vectors to be linearly independent, then it must satisfy the condition C1 plus alpha C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus C3 alpha 3, this alpha is equals to theta, where the only solution possible will be c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3, which is equals to theta or 0, whatever you write, because theta here is a 0 vector, right? So next you need to just substitute the values of alpha, then you do the scalar multiplication. So let me do that. C1 into 0 comma 1 comma 1 plus C2 is 1 comma 0 comma 1 plus C3 is 1 comma 1 comma 0. Now that I understand that I have not taught what is dimension and basis, right? So in the upcoming videos I will teach about this basis like vectors and everything, then you can understand why I said that this is standard basis like vectors. Okay, so okay, do not think about that now, just think about these vectors to be random vectors. Okay. Okay, now coming to is equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0. Now just do the scalar multiplication. Then what do you get? If you just okay, no, I will just show the scalar multiplication. Okay, 0 comma c1 comma c1 plus c2 comma 0 comma c2 plus c3 comma c3 comma 0 will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0. Now if you directly write the equations, then how will it go? C2 plus C3 is equals to 0. This is the first equation, right? And the next equation will be, this is C2 plus C3, then is C1 plus C3. C1 plus C3 is equals to 0. And lastly, C1 plus C2 is equals to 0. C1 plus C2 is equals to 0. This is equation 1, this is equation 2, and this is equation 3. All right. Now, if you see from here that equation from here, from all these three equations only, you will get certain values, right? So from equation 2, we will get that C1 is equals to minus C3, and from equation number 3, we will get C1 is equals to minus C2, right? So from here we can say that combining these two results, we can say that minus C3 is equals to minus C2, which is basically C2 is equals to C3. Now if you put the value put the value C2 is equals to C3 in equation 1. Now if you just put the value of C2 is equals to C3 in equation 1, then what do you get? Basically C3 plus C3, if we write the C2 in terms of C3 is equals to 0, then 2C3 is equals to 0, then C3 will be equals to 0, right? Now we know what is C2. C2 is equals to C3. Now C3 is equals to 0, then C2 will also be equals to 0. Now C1 is equals to minus C2, where C2 is equals to 0, then C1 will also be equals to 0. Now hence from substituting all these values, we get that C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3 is equals to 0. Hence we can say that the set is linearly independent, right? So we will write, therefore we can say that C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3 is equals to 0. Hence proved. that this is linearly independent. Okay, now next question will be on the parameters which I was talking about, what how to find the relation between the two parameters if it is given. Okay, so yes, write down the question. The question is like, okay, here the question is, find the condition, find the condition, find the condition of a and b, of a and b, which belongs to R, so that, so that the set of vectors, the set of vectors is linearly dependent in R3. Okay, I am talking about again linear dependence. Okay, so is linearly dependent in R3. Now here we have now we will be given a set also. So the given set is, say, S is equals to a comma b comma b. Now here we will do b comma a comma b. Next is b comma b comma a. Okay, now for this question, here we need to find the condition, what is the relation between a and b, right? So to find the relation between a and b, this is like a parametric problem, like we are looking for the conditions, we are not looking for the specific values. So from here we will again write that this is given that we need to find the condition when it is linearly dependent in R3, right? So we will first write the condition of linearly dependent, that is C1 plus C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus C3 alpha 3 will be equals to theta, which is the zero vector, and all, not all zeros, not all constants will be zero, right? And then we will get three equations, right? So from these three equations we will substitute the values and solve for the equations, and then we will get the condition for the linear dependence. Okay, condition between a and b. Okay, so let me solve it and see what do we get. So see, for this question, here we will write that let C1, C2 and C3 belongs to F, and here alpha 1 will be a comma b comma b, alpha 2 is b comma a comma b, and alpha 3 is b comma b comma a. Okay, and if I do the system of linear equations, then it will be equals to theta. So let me write it. What is the condition? That is C1 a comma b comma b plus C2 b comma a comma b plus C3 b comma b comma a will be equals to theta, which is, which can also be written as 0 comma 0 comma 0. Okay, so from here we get we will get three equations. So let me see what are the equations we get. So first we need to do the scalar multiplication, right? So if you do the scalar multiplication, then you get what? Yes, this will be important. AC1 comma BC1 comma BC1 plus BC2 comma AC2 plus BC2 plus BC3 comma BC3 comma AC3 will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0, right? And next we need to do the vector addition term by term, right? So it is AC1. So the first equation is AC1 plus BC2, AC1 plus BC2, then BC3 plus BC3 will be equals to 0. The next is BC1 plus AC2 plus BC3 will be equals to 0. Third equation is BC1 plus BC2 plus AC3 will be equals to 0. So name the equations to be 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so now as you can see, if you need to solve these equations, you have to look for each relation. Okay, where this is where things will get cancelled down and the calculation will get easier. So as I can see that if you do subtraction, subtracting equation number 2 from 1, then you will get benefit. Why? Because BC3 and BC3 will get cancelled. So let me write first, subtracting equation number 2 from 1, then we get what? From 1, AC1 plus BC2 plus BC3 will be equals to 0, then BC1 plus AC2 plus bc3 will be equals to 0. And you need to subtract these two equations, right? Now if you subtract it, as I have already said, that bc3 and bc3 will get cancelled. Then what are you left with? If you take c1 to be common, a minus b, and from here if you take the c2 to be common, then it will be c2 b minus a will be equals to 0. Now from here you can see that a minus a and b are common here. So here you can do what? You can change the sign and make the factor to be common. So you can write c1 a minus b, then minus, this is c2. Okay. I also got confused for a moment that what did I write here. So yes, c1 a minus b and minus c2 b minus a minus b. For that only we change the sign, right? A minus b is equals to 0. Then we can factor out a minus b and we get c1 minus c2 is equals to 0. All right. Now we will get that c1, that either a is equals to b or c1 is equals to c2, right? So this is the solution which we get from here. So let us write a is equals to b or c1 is equals to c2. So now next step will be what? Now next we need to subtract another thing. Now if we see these equations carefully, we can do another thing. We can subtract this equation number 3 from equation number 2. Then we can see that bc1 and bc1 gets cancelled. Then also we are getting benefit. So let us do subtracting equation number 3 from equation number 2. Subtracting equation number 3 from 2. Now, what is equation number 2 here? We can see BC1 plus AC2 plus BC3. BC1 plus AC2 plus BC3 will be equals to 0. And what is equation number 3? BC1 plus BC2 plus AC3. BC1 plus BC2 plus AC3 is equals to 0. Now you need to subtract these equations. As I have already said that BC1 and BC1 will get cancelled. And then what are you left with? Subtraction, right? So let us take c2 to be common, then a minus b we get as the factor, and then if we take c3 to be common, then we get b minus a as the factor, right? Now we can again change the sign to factor out this a minus b, right? So minus c3 a minus b is equals to 0. So if we take out this a minus b as common, then we get c2 minus c3 is equals to 0. So from here also we get these two values, that is a is equals to b or c2 is equals to c3, right? Then a is equals to b, which implies this a is equals to b or c2 is equals to c3. Now next what will you do? Now from here you can already see that c1 is equals to c2 from the first result, and the next result is c2 is equals to c3. Then we can directly say that c1 is equals to c2 is equals to c3, and we can use this relation in another equation, right? So if I put this relation in equation number 1, in equation number 1, what is equation number 1? AC1 plus BC2 plus BC3, right? So let us write AC1 plus BC2 plus AC1 plus BC2. Then what was that? BC3. BC3 is equals to 0, right? Now here C1 is equals to C2 is equals to C3. Now from here also, if we take C2 and C3, if we write C2 and C3 in terms of C1, then what do we get? AC1 plus BC1 plus BC1 is equals to 0, right? Then we get AC1 plus 2BC1 is equals to 0. Now from here, if we can take C1 to be common, then we get A plus 2B is equals to 0. And from here, we get another relation that A is equals to minus 2B, right? So from here, we can say that the conditions for linear dependence are, first is A is equals to B, a is equals to b, this is the first condition, and then another relation is a is equals to minus 2b. Okay, so alternatively and more elegantly, the set is dependent when the determinant of this matrix will be equals to 0. Okay, so using the cyclic determinant formula, that is I will talk about it later, that is determinant is equals to 3 into a 3ab minus a cube plus b cube minus plus 1, or you can say it to be c, like c is equals to 1 here. This is exactly what the cyclic trick will give us. Okay, now you can also again try this question. See, as you can see, try this question for the I'm using this highlighter, right? So try this question for cyclic determinant matrix when I will teach that. So in this later part only, this was question number 11, right? So next question is question number 12. That is our last question, and in this question only we will use this determinant method, and next I will show you the bonus cyclic determinant trick. Okay, so next let's do the question number 12. Yes, question number 12, the last question of today, which is we need to, again, now you need to find the condition of a and b. This is another condition problem only, but just by using this determinant trick. So let me do it. Find the condition. Find the condition of A and B, of A and B, which belongs to R, so that the set of vectors, the set of vectors is linearly dependent, linearly dependent in R3, in R3. Okay, so here we're gonna do what, we will just do it like the previous only, and this you I will write the structure, which is the set S is equals to a comma b comma 1, b comma 1 comma a, and another structure can possibly be is 1 comma a comma b. Okay, the magic of permutation again. So yes, now see, this has a beautiful cyclic structure, right? The vectors are cyclic permutations of a comma b comma 1. Now this system, we will again solve this. I will not write that again about that taking the scalars and then we will do the scalar multiplication and vector addition. I'm directly writing the this system of linear equation, because I have already done it so many times that you can understand it on your own. So yes, so basically, see, here what you need to do is that this is linearly dependent, right? So what is the condition? C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus C3 alpha 3 will be equals to the theta, which is a zero vector, right? Now this zero vector, now substitute the alpha 1 with this, then alpha 2 with this, then alpha 3 with this, and you need to define that what are the what are the vectors you are taking, right? So yes, next step is what? C1 a comma b comma 1 plus C2 b comma 1 comma a, and C3 is 1 comma a comma b will be equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0. Now I'm directly writing the equations, okay, as I said. So let me write it. That is AC1 plus BC2 plus C3 will be equals to 0, and the second is BC1 plus C2 plus AC3 will be equals to 0. And the third equation is C1 plus AC2 plus BC3 will be equals to 0. So this is the first equation, this is the second equation, and this is the third equation which we get after simplifying this, expanding this term by term. Okay, now see, as you can see, as I said that this I will do it in the form of determinant. Okay, now see, what is the first thing which I started the video with? That is, for dependence, this delta a will be equals to determinant a will be equals to 0, right? So this will be what, let us take the determinant. What will be the first we need to write the coefficients of this c1, right? So what is the first row, first column? It is a, b and 1. Then comes b1a, b1a. Then is 1ab, 1a and b. And what are the coefficients? C1, C2 and C3, these are the constants, is equals to 0 0 0. Okay, now you need to do what? You need to find the determinant of this a, determinant of a, which is, we are saying this to be a, this part. Okay, I'm writing it another in the next line. A is equals to ab1, b1a, b1a, 1ab, Okay, now this is our a, and we need to find the determinant. How do you find the determinant? You already know, you have learned how to find the determinant, right? That is, first take this a, then multiply this, cross multiplication, which is b minus a square, then plus, no, this will be minus, next term is minus, so minus b, then you need to take what, b into b minus a into 1, right? So it will be b squared minus a, and the third term will be 1 into ab, right? ab minus 1, ab minus 1. So this is the determinant. So what do you get here? From here you get ab minus a cube minus b cube plus ab plus ab minus 1, which should be equal to 0, because it is given that it is linearly dependent, right? So see, from here what do we get? If we simplify this further, we get 3ab minus a cube minus b cube minus 1 is equals to 0, and this can also be written as a cube plus b cube plus 1 is equals to 3ab. Now does this ring a bell? Because you know this this equation we have seen multiple times in the in that algebraic identity which we used to learn, that is a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc is equals to a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus c. All right, so using that algebraic idea, I am writing it down if you have forgotten. A cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc is equals to what? A plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. Now from here, can you understand something? In this equation, the c is equals to 1, and if you put the c is equals to 1 in this algebraic identity, you will simply get this equation, right? So let us do that. Here, just write it. Here c is equals to 1, then we can say that therefore a cube plus b cube plus 1, 1's cube is 1 only, so 1 minus 3 into ab into 1 will be equals to, just write into this formula, which is a plus b plus 1, then a square plus b square, c square is 1 only, so 1 minus ab minus b minus a, right? So this is what the solution which we get for this equation. Now see, the vectors are linearly dependent. If we know that this will be equals to 0, right? This will be 0, then we can say, do what? We can first take this term to be 0. A plus b plus 1 is equals to 0, and from here we can get a relation of a and b to be a is equals to minus b minus 1, right? So from here we got one relation of a and b, right? And we need another equation, another relation of a and b. Now see this part, now set this part to be 0, and if you set this part to be 0, what it is happening? A square plus b square plus 1, sorry, minus ab minus b minus a will be equals to 0. If you take this part to be 0, then you can see that this can be further factorized into half a minus b whole square plus b minus 1 whole square plus 1 minus a whole square, which will be equals to 0. Now see, if you have just if you just open all these things, then all these terms, then you will get this term, this fact, this equation only. Okay, so you can check that at home. And yes, here from in this relation, what can we see? We can see that a is equals to b here, and from here we can see that a is equals to b. From here we can see that b is equals to 1, and from here we can see that a is equals to 1, right? So directly we can write that here from this equation we get that a is equals to b is equals to 1, and this is one of the relation again. So first equation, first relation was a is equals to minus b minus 1, right? And the next relation which we get is that a is equals to b is equals to 1. So that is all for the questions on linear dependent and independent. Now next, what I was talking about the whole time in this video is that the cyclic determinant trick. Okay, so let me show you now what is this cyclic determinant trick. Cyclic determinant trick. So, what is the cyclic determinant trick? Before we wrap up, this is the beautiful trick for a very specific class of matrices called the circulant or cyclic matrices. Okay. Now, for a matrix of the form, let me write the form x, y, z, and then y, zx, then zxyz here, then yzx here, then zxy here. Okay, so for a matrix of this specific form, the determinant will always be, see, the determinant will be 3xy minus x cube plus y cube plus z cube. Okay, so this is as a result you can understand and you can memorize this. Okay, so this is the determinant of for the cyclic matrix. Okay, now this also factors using the identity that here you can write it, that the same identity which we were using this in the problem number 12, right? The identity is what? X plus y plus z, right? That is the a plus b plus c which we did. And then comes what? A square plus, not a square, here we are taking x y z, right? So x square plus y square plus z square minus xy minus yz minus zx minus xy minus yz and minus zx. Okay, so this is basically computing to be of that formula. And here, basically here it is in minus, so here you can write a minus here. So this is the determinant of this cyclic matrices. And the second factor which will imply that a is equals to b is equals to something, which according to the question, like for this question, for the question number 12, if we have used the cyclic determinant trick like all together, like at the first only as a result, then we could have got the answer in just two line, right? We will just write this formula and then we would have gotten the that relation between a and b. So basically this trick saves enormous time in exams, so I would suggest that memorize this trick. Okay, and yes, basically that's a wrap for today's session. We covered what? Let me see from the first part, from where we started. Today it was a very long session, I know, and it was hard to sit for all along, but I would definitely say that it would have that you would have benefited from this a lot. So we started from here. So yes, and we covered what? Two proofs of linear dependence in R4 and R3, right? We did two questions each, and then we did what? The finding the parameter of K for dependent solution. We did the parameter K finding, and then we did that question where we just added up all the equations. Now this is very hard to find in this way, because this is. We did so many things. So I'm just giving a recap. Okay, so basically next we did what? We proved the linear independence with that all adding all the equations technique. And then we did finding the conditions of a and b using parametric systems. And lastly we did this cyclic determinant trick. Now cyclic determinant shortcut also you can say. So if this was helpful, I would like that if you would just please like and subscribe my channel. We are building a complete linear algebra course right here. So yes, drop your doubts in the comments, I read everyone. So yes, see you in the next class, and bye bye, take care.